run away. Don't walk, run away from these Nissans we're about to talk about. Alright, so by popular request, and similar to a couple of my previous videos where I told you about some Honda and Toyota models you need to watch out for, even though Honda and Toyota generally make reliable cars, today we're going to pick on Nissan and I'm going to tell you about some Nissan models you really need to be wary of. So similar to Toyota where a faulty piston and piston rings caused oil burning issues across a few models, and same thing for Honda where a faulty third gear clutch pack in the automatic transmission caused major automatic transmission issues across a few models, well, similar thing happened to Nissan where a few different models were affected. Now we'll cover the exact models and the exact years of these models that were affected later on in this video, so make sure you stay tuned. Now as far as what the problem is with these Nissans, well, unfortunately, it's the worst kind. In so many words, the automatic transmissions on these Nissans are getting murdered by their radiator. Now as far as how this happens exactly, well, as some of you may know, both the engine oil and the transmission oil of your car need to be cooled and kept at a certain temperature, because if they're not, and they get too hot, they expand, thin out, and then they cannot lubricate the internal parts of your engine and transmission. If they can't do that, the internal parts of your engine and transmission will wear out prematurely and fail, leaving you in need of a new engine or transmission. Here's an example of an engine oil cooler on your screen. You can see coolant enters here, engine oil enters here, the heat from the engine oil is exchanged to the coolant. Coolant leaves from this side, goes to the radiator to be cooled down again by your radiator fan, and then the cooler engine oil goes to your engine and lubricates the internal parts of your engine. And all of this happens without the engine oil or the coolant coming into physical contact with one another. Now the same thing happens to your transmission oil, but usually the transmission oil is cooled using an integrated transmission oil cooler located at the bottom of your radiator. Transmission fluid through a transmission line goes from your transmission to the integrated oil cooler, which again is at the bottom of the radiator, gets cooled down, then through a return line goes back to the transmission. However, on some Nissan made vehicles, there's a seal that fails inside the integrated transmission oil cooler on the factory radiators. And when that happens, you have cross-contamination of transmission oil and coolant. Basically, coolant gets to go inside the transmission oil gets to go inside the cooling system, and when coolant gets inside the transmission, it wears out and destroys the clutch packs, sending debris throughout the automatic transmission. And when that happens, you are in need of a new transmission, a new radiator, and a new wallet. Now, a good indicator whether you have this issue or not is to take a look at your coolant and the transmission fluid on your car and see whether it looks like a strawberry milkshake, aka the strawberry milkshake of death. Because when pink or red automatic transmission fluid mixes with coolant, it comes out to a pink colored foamy substance similar to a strawberry milkshake. That's science. Now as far as what Nissan did about this, well, in 2010 Nissan extended the factory radiator warranty from 3 years or 36,000 miles to 8 years or 80,000 miles. However, this was kind of pointless because I do not believe they covered damage to the automatic transmission as a result of a faulty radiator. But oh wait, in 2012, Nissan had to settle a class action lawsuit due to this specific reason. So if your Nissan is less than 8 years old and has less than 80,000 miles, whichever comes first, there is no copay to fix your transmission. Now if you have a Nissan that is older than 8 years or has more than 80,000 miles, there's a customer copay of $2,500 to fix the transmission. And if you have a Nissan that's 9 to 10 years old or has 90 to 100,000 miles, there's a customer copay of $3,000 to have your transmission fixed by Nissan. But wait, as if that was not enough, if you happen to have a Nissan that's less than 10 years old and has less than 100,000 miles, the deadline to file a claim has already passed. So Now as far as which Nissans exactly suffered from this problem, well, it's the 2005 to 2010 Nissan Xterras, 2005 to 2010 Nissan Pathfinders, and 2005 to 2010 Nissan Frontiers that came with the 4.0 liter V6 Nissan engine. Now keep in mind this issue was more common on the 2005 to 2007 models that we just talked about. However, 2007 through 2010 models also suffered from this problem, but to a lower extent. Now obviously I don't recommend you buying one of these cars, but if you already own one, make sure you replace the original factory radiator if it has not already been done so. And if you're lucky enough that the engine on these cars doesn't develop a bad chain tensioner and guides, you can hopefully dodge a large repair bill. Alright, so that's it for today. But if you enjoyed this video and want to support my channel, all you have to do is simply watch another one of my videos. You can either click on this one up top, right here, on the one right below it, or click on and watch any of my videos in the suggestion box. That will help greatly as well. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.